Hey, how's it going? I am just getting settled. Had a ton of stuff I had to do really quick. Man, how's it going? Is it Tuesday already? Can't believe it. How did that happen? Oh, what a day. Busy day. Hope everyone's doing okay. Looks like okay, that's good. All right, yeah. Hope everyone's doing okay. Hope everyone had a good weekend. Bastian, aloha. How's it going? Hope you're well. It's new. Missed your last stream. I needed some cool story bobs. I even said like, oh man, Dacian was here. There would have been at least like 10 cool story bobs. Salazar, Mayers, hola. Hey, how's it going? Takano, hey, how's it going? Sweet. How's everybody doing? Good weekend? Hopefully. Build some cool stuff. Do some cool stuff. Go some cool places. Hopefully so. Salazar Mayers. Hopefully I'm saying that all right. How's it going? I think that's the first time I've seen your name, possibly. But hope you're well. Before stream, oh my, Skal. Formerly known as Skalfa. Now it's just Skal __. How's it going? Let's see here. Pull this up real quick. Yes, I'm new. Yeah, thought I didn't recognize the name, but thought it looked like a new name. Let me know how my mic and music's doing. I have new headphones, and I swear, every time I stream, I like adjust something, so it's kind of hard to tell. It's kind of loud in my ears, but that's okay as long as it's not blasting your ears out. But what's going on? So, man, lots of stuff for the weekend. I've been working on something that hopefully I'll have for you guys on Saturday, maybe. Some cool stuff. But it looks like according to Discord, you guys are building some cool stuff too. But yeah, anyways, but yeah, I'm ready to be back in weekend mode. Seems like Saturday was so far away. What is day? Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. I'm streaming, duh. But before we get started, looks like there were some follows. I'll just call off like a handful that just happened recently. Looks like, who do we have? Raw Times, Nature Boy, One Deeper, Try Less Bro, Murphy Moosh, Shitus7. That's Shitus. I've seen that name before. Maybe it's someone else. Thought that was one of the bot names, but. And not Cetus. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Seems fine. TrueNAS related. Not yet. Not yet. Kind of holding out for that one. Just a little bit. I mean, they're only at beta 2, and I know a lot of people are chomping at the bit to see what it's all about. But I think they just released beta 2, or are going to soon. I'm gonna hold off just a tiny bit, because when I don't know. I think what I'm going to end up doing is, migrating or upgrading my current FreeNAS to TrueNAS, live, kind of, sorta. And so I just want to make sure it's decently stable, because I got 3-4 terabytes of stuff. Like, I could get back, but it would stink to lose. And who knows? Maybe I don't even know if they're providing upgrade paths between betas. I would assume so, but yeah, not sure. No, it's it is server related, but and it's not some big secret, but it was super fun to play with and figure out. HomeLab new, hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, so what else is new? Yeah, I don't know. Takano saw your rack. It's looking sweet. iForks saw his rack too. Sounds weird without any context. But in the Discord server, you guys are posting images of your setups, and they look awesome. Looks sweet. I need to, after I see everyone else's, I feel like, man, I should downsize at some point, but maybe, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like, I haven't really, I don't know, I haven't exceeded like the requirements, or exceeded like my, what am I trying to say? Haven't exceeded like the bandwidth I have on my servers. So I'm like, I'm always toying with downscaling. But We'll see. I'll figure that out later. No, but Skull, have you tried out TrueNAS yet? Or has anyone tried out TrueNAS yet? I mean, I've been running FreeNAS for, I don't know, like only like 9 months. Not a long time. Maybe 9 or 10 months. But not that long. So I'm still new to FreeNAS. But I love it. But yeah, like saw Craft Computing had a sweet FreeNAS build, and I was like, whoa, it's a doozy. Yeah, and I've been kind of thinking of stuff like that too, like something kind of similar. I think Gorfy posted a nice super micro kind of board server build. I think it was super micro, but a build where you can basically get 3U, get, I don't know, it was like 6, was it 6, 12? Is either 12 or 18 drives, but plus, you know, server board in there too. And I'm kind of, after looking at, you know, newer builds, I'm kind of like, well, man, my disk shelf takes up what, 4U, and then the server that's connected to it's another 2. So I was just thinking, man, could I combine all this? But I just don't want to spend the money right now. But they are awesome. They're getting better. I think like the whole, you know, server market outside of like large enterprise, but server market for small, medium business and home stuff is getting really interesting because they're kind of consolidating stuff, which is, yeah, I know perfect for me would be rack mount, lots of drives, 2 or 3U at most. Takano, hey, I just realized earlier after some testing with my door blocks me from having network switch on the front or back of the rack as the cables block them. Wait, let me read that again. I just realized earlier today after some testing that my door blocks me from having a network switch on the front or back of the rack as the cables just block them. I know what you mean. So when you close that door, your cables sticking out block the door. That kind of stinks. I don't have a door on mine, but yeah, that would stink. Then you got to put the cables backwards. The funny thing is, like, I think the more appropriate way in general when you have a network rack is to put the cables facing back versus forward. But everyone does it forward because they're like, it looks awesome and you get to see blinking lights. But when I worked, this was years ago. I helped rack some servers at this one company I was at. Our network racks always faced back, and they were in the back, mounted in the back, because all the server network cables were right there, you know. And so you would just, you know, run all the cables down and over. But man, that stinks too if it's in the way of your door. I'm like doing all these hand motions and stuff, getting crazy. HomeLab new, I bought a server. Nice. Yeah, nice. Decided to go with the Dell R20. Nice. It has an observer mount of RAM, 256 gigs. Yeah, that's awesome. I think you made a good investment, or good choice in general. Yeah, if I could do it over, I think I would go one higher with an R720. And I think I've said this before, but mainly because I think that one has the PCI Express 3.0. And it has, I think, some more options for power. And I think their PCI Express slots can do up to 16x. So nothing, I figured ways around it, but yeah, I get a good deal on mine. But man, 720 with 256 gigs, that's sweet. You won't have to upgrade for a long time. Skull, I spun up a dummy / test on my Dell 7910. Nice. Of TrueNAS. Of TrueNAS. You said that too. Yeah, how did you like it? Anything different? I mean, I know that there's the dashboard is a little bit different, and some of the admin stuff's a little bit different. But yeah, I'm curious what you think about it. XOR65, hey, how's it going? Hello, everyone. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Skull, I agree network should be in the rear and fan should port side be port side exhaust. Yeah, I think so too. But I'm totally going to do it in my rack as soon as I get a network. Well, I have a network switch, but as soon as I get the one I want, I'm totally putting the ports in front because it just totally looks better. You can see all the blinky lights, and then you get to run your cables nice. I'm even going to put the I'm going to terminate all of my network cables to it, and then put my jacks even facing forward too, which yeah, I already mentioned, but yeah, just it's counterintuitive, but it looks so much better that way when people see it, because otherwise it's, just facing out the back. Who wants to see the back of a network switch? No one. Takano, I have a semi-solution that you may try. Since I found the model of my server rack after hours of searching, turns out it's around 14 years old. I found a person on Reddit who was having the exact same issue, and it turns out you can put the mounting rails a bit further back, allowing the cables and such to fit. Oh, totally. Yeah, totally. That's interesting though. So put the rails back more, so then you have more clearance so you can close the door. Yeah, that stinks. That must have sucked. As soon as you closed it, you're just like, oh, why? Yeah, that's awesome. You'll have to let me know, or take some pictures. Post some more pictures as you do it, because I feel like you just like totally painted your rack and reassembled it. Like now you gotta take it all apart and do it all over again. HomeLab new. Question for you, Tim. Are you using disk encryption on your Proxmox server? If so, is it something that's supported by the default Proxmox installer? So I'm not encrypting. I mean, unless it's encrypted out of the box, I'm not. Should I? Probably. But for the most part, I gotta think about this. So my data is encrypted on my FreeNAS server, which that's where all of my, I guess critical data or sensitive data is stored. On my other, what does that leave? What's left after that? So then, I have virtual machines on Proxmox. I don't use LXC containers. I use Docker containers inside of an Ubuntu virtual machine. And so what that does is just leave, unencrypted, I guess, virtual disks, as well as like configurations for my virtual machine. I mean, and there aren't any like secrets in there or sensitive information that I'm aware of. I mean, I've looked at my, 100.conf and all those config files. Nothing too interesting in there. So for me, I mean, most of my sensitive data is on my FreeNAS server. I mean, I'll admit that, in some of my Docker containers, I got to think about this. Some of my Docker containers that are mapped to, so I guess not necessarily. So yeah, some of my Docker containers map volumes to then virtual machines, which then in those virtual machines, those volumes that contain config and passwords that are passed to the Docker container are written to disk there, that I back up. So yeah, if somebody, I don't know, got onto my virtual machine, they could get it, but it's rare. But that's a good question. I mean, maybe I'll just start encrypting my disks within the OS and turn it on. But I don't know if that's something that Proxmox, upgraded. Look at my upgrade. Hold on. I went from this piece of mail. Oh, there was something sensitive there, to my notebook, and all it took was me like lifting up my MacBook and putting something else under it as my heat spreader riser. So I have a notebook now, but now I can actually take real notes and understand what I wrote later on, because it's not blue ink on blue paper. Actually, it looks easy to read there, but it's not in normal light. Good question though. But yeah, I will definitely take a look, because I'm interested now. Because it would be nice. It would be nice if Proxmox included some kind of way. But if not, I should probably just turn on full disk encryption on all of my virtual machines, which on my Ubuntu ones I do, because it's super easy. On my Windows ones I don't, because I don't have any sensitive information on there at all whatsoever. That all goes to my FreeNAS server. So yeah, sorry, long answer, but great question and stuff for me to look into and research. Recommendation for a new in Pi-hole. Salazar, a recommendation for a noob in Pi-hole. Okay, so I've done tons of Pi-hole. I've done Pi-holes on virtual machine. I've done it on Raspberry Pi, and I've done it on Docker. If you just want to get started today, I would say if you know nothing about it whatsoever, I would totally just spin up a virtual machine. If you have a Raspberry Pi and you know nothing about it, install it on your Raspberry Pi and give it a go. I mean, mine ran on a Raspberry Pi for 3-4 months before I was like, okay, this is getting consolidated into my infrastructure now, and it's going to be in my Docker server. But yeah, that as far as Pi-hole goes, getting it set up, I would choose one of those, and then once you get it set up and going, I would probably use it as your DNS only because you probably already have DHCP turned on somewhere, like your router or whatever you use for your, your internet router probably hands out DHCP addresses. So once you set that up, I would just do DNS only, and then tell your router when it hands out the DHCP leases to hand out that DNS IP, or if you can set an upstream or a resolver for that whole entire router, just set it to that Pi-hole server's IP. And then you'll be blocking ads in no time. And then you'll be pulling your hair out because you're like, why doesn't this website work? Oh, Pi-hole. You got in tons of exceptions. But anyways, yeah, there's tons of stuff to do and tons of resources on the web. But yeah, I mean, what are you looking for out of Pi-hole? Scoffall, sorry, I'm behind. Dashboard clean on TrueNAS. So far, so good. I think they're pushing it for easier entry experience for someone just getting into it. That's good. That's good because I feel like when I started 9 months ago, it wasn't super accessible. And I'm not going to lie, like even setting up shares, I have to Google how to do it. And I don't feel like, I mean, if they're going after the home market and consumer market, I don't feel like if you have a really good UI, you should have to Google how to do something. Now I get it. This is a technical product, and there takes there's a some understanding the person using the product has to know or have before they use it. But I'm not gonna lie, I have to Google every time I set up a share, and I feel like that's I don't know, something that can be addressed by someone on their product team. Maybe get a UX person involved. I would love a wizard to just, hey, what do you want to name your share? Where should it be placed? Forums, tons of forums, and like not knowing if I'm filling it out right kind of feels, I don't know. But then again, it's a technical product and it's something you do maybe once every 6 months, so why spend the effort on it? But that's good. That's good. My point being is that that's awesome that they're going after, entry level type experience or entry experience people who are probably technical. That's awesome. Techno originally put it in the back, but it was the same issue. Okay, the back door blocks the cable and doesn't allow it to close either. So far, that seems the only solution. Yeah, I bet you have the same problem because it's going whatever edge to edge. And I wasn't picking on you for putting it in front because I'm totally going to put mine in front as soon as I do. I'm going to terminate all my jacks, all my cords up front, get little tiny jumpers, and have my rack mounted switch there at some point. But I just think like the difference between home and, data center, it's funny. The ASEAN, yeah, there's my cool story, Bob. I think you would need something like Veracrypt for encrypting Linux partitions. Okay, yeah. But I know that, or Lux. Okay, Lux too. I wouldn't say that they are all the way to average Joe consumer, but easier than FreeNAS for sure. I wouldn't say that they are all the way. We're talking about, TrueNAS. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I totally agree. Like they're not trying to be like, I don't know, who knows? Maybe they're going after the simplicity of like something like Synology or something like that. I feel like they would probably want to, because if not, you're going after the prosumer market. And then it's kind of like, well, are there enough prosumers that have a server in their basement? Who knows? But that would be awesome if they did. I don't know. I'd love to give them some feedback. But they, it's probably things they haven't probably have already heard before. Home Avenue, I found quite the deal. Nowhere near Portland, but extremely tempted. Oh, you mean on, what do you, oh, a deal on what? Server? I'm assuming. XOR 65,000, I would say it depends on what you're comfortable with. But if you never used Linux, I would just start with a Pi B 3 or 4. Yeah, yep, I totally agree. And I mean, you can start with an old PC today too, if you just want to learn, you know, Pi-hole, because you know it runs on more than the Raspberry Pi, and that won't cost any money if you already own something. Oh, it's in the link. It's in the link. Oh, I don't know. I don't see a link. So maybe you're, I don't know. Oh, the link probably got taken out. Yeah, I had to turn off links. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. I had to turn them off. Just because like I can never vet like what's going through there, and so yeah, and I don't want to have to like, yeah, for all the reasons why people don't allow links. That's why I don't allow them either. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and no one's ever posted a bad link or anything like that. But like, I just, you know, when I was going through my security settings again, I was reviewing all my chat settings, and I totally redid and rebranded my whole entire landing page that you're probably on right now, and added tons of links, and I don't know, made it more visual. I just used that same time to go through all my settings, and I was like, huh, I used to never allow hyperlinks. And I think on like, I don't know, a stream probably like 2 months ago, someone wanted to post a link, and I was like, yeah, sure, let's turn them on. And then I was like, you know, when I was reviewing it again, I was just kind of like, this could go. I mean, like I said before, no one has ever posted a bad link, but I was just, you know, better to turn it off now than later when someone posts something that maybe we don't want to see. And then yeah, Twitch doesn't do any kind of vetting or anything on links. I mean, I can write a bot to only allow certain links, but I was just like, but sorry. Okay, so Takano, here's what the one person did to the same rack. They just went to Home Depot. All right, I like how this is starting already. It's a whole bunch of DIY stuff coming. They went to Home Depot and did it in an hour, but they definitely recommend that you get actual rails. I'll post the image to Twitch sub channels in the Discord if you want. Yeah, for sure you can put that in Discord. Just put it in the suite setup section with the rest of your stuff, so we can track your journey on modifying this cabinet. Man, I didn't realize like how many different server racks there are out there. Like I understand that, like, you know, there were a lot of companies like making them at one point, but I'm just blown away every time I see someone's and they mention a brand. I'm just like, wow, where did that come from? I ended up getting the 4-post open rail one because it was like, I don't know, didn't have many options and at the time, but yeah. I think the best ones are the ones you find on eBay or something used, something like that. I mean, you can buy new sweet ones, but they're always so expensive. I don't know. At some point, like I might upgrade, might downgrade, or might, I don't know, do a little parallel shift. Because I'm just not sure which way my rack is going yet. I mean, I have about, I don't know, 6 or 8 U open. I think 6 U, which is plenty for what I want to add. But then I'm like, what if I downgrade? But who knows? Because I think I only have 18 U. I wanted 24 U, but you know, they only had 18 at the time. And so I was kind of like, well, it's either 18 U or nothing for months. Post it in the subject in case you want to take a look. Okay, yeah. Right on. This rack was originally made by Rittel, and then resold and rebranded by Compaq. There's a name you haven't heard in a while. I remember Compaq. My first home lab, my very first home lab was a Compaq PC. It was one that a hospital I worked at was throwing out. And I asked my manager at the time, you know, hey, can I have this? And he was just like looking at me like, what would you even want this for? And then I was like, well, you know, I want to practice whatever. It was like I wanted to build a domain controller at home. This was when I was doing more Windows stuff. And he was like, sure, well, let me just take the hard drive out. And I was like, sweet, I got hard drives at home. Yeah. So, but yeah, I remember Compaq. Totally. And then, yeah, I totally built an Active Directory domain controller at home and like joined family PCs to it and stuff. And what a nightmare that was. I was like, yeah, I'll build a mail server too and Exchange and DNS. And I was just like, oh man, what did I even get to? And they're running on these like old, you know, Compaq computers, but right, man, definitely a work in progress, but it's a start. Yeah, to kind of, yeah, and yeah, you painted it white, which is totally awesome. I think to go with your room or something like that. Oh yeah, that's looking good, man. That's looking good. So I can switch so other people can see it. Staccato. This is his rack right here. This is the one where you can't close the door on it. Looks pretty sweet. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah. So your patch panel, that's pretty much what I'm, you know, what I see most people doing, what I'm gonna do too, is that isn't my current rack? No? I thought you just posted it. Well, I mean, I know your other one was in. Oh, gotcha. That's the mod. Okay, I see what you mean. You just got to pull it back here, because it would be a rack there. No, I know where yours is. I thought that was already modified, I guess, but I didn't realize the rails went back there. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. That looks super awesome. Yeah. Hopefully I don't have to mod mine anytime soon. Mine's all open air, but actually I do want to mod mine at some point. You know, mine's all 4-post open, and I totally want to mod, you know, and put some like panels on the side, but I'll run into the same thing you're running into if I ever want to put a door, which I don't know. Putting a door on mine seems like a lot of hassle. But I definitely want to put some panels at some point. And I see tons of people with LEDs too. I'm like, where are they putting the LEDs? Are they like lining it on the inside? You know, are they like lining LEDs on the inside of a server? Because I totally want to do it at some point, because LEDs like make your server run better. Everyone knows that. Who posted? Someone posted this meme of like, it was like LEDs and like the attributes it would give your computer or server running. It was just like, it was so ridiculous. It was like green made it more efficient and blue made it cooler. Yeah, but some of these, like, I don't know, some people go all out. I just want kind of basic LEDs just so I can kind of see when I'm down there. Like, I'd even be fine with something like this. But I'm not really understanding where they're mounting this stuff. You know, like where are they mounting these lights? I guess on this one you can kind of see where they're mounting the LEDs, you know. It's totally, it looks like it's like they're mounting LEDs back here and around here. But yeah, oh, and this is the back of their server. I want it in the front of my server. I mean, who puts LEDs in the back? That has too much utility for me. Like, look at this one. What? Yeah. Yeah, my favorite place on Reddit. Oh man. When I look at stuff like on Reddit in general, I just start going kind of crazy and getting like way too many ideas. But like, look at that. How awesome does that look? XOR, Techno Tim, yep, you should check out HomeLab Master Race. Wait, there's not, because I know about HomeLab, but there's HomeLab Master Race now? Like, what? No way. Hopefully I'm typing that right. All right, I'm totally copy and pasting this because I can't see. I think you're just No, are you kidding me? How did I not know this exists? I mean, I've always known about, HomeLab subreddit and self-hosted and a few others that I'm in. Oh my gosh, how sweet does that look? Oh man, so yeah, this is what I'm always trying to figure out. Like, where are they mounting, these RGBs here? Are they like mounting them over here? I mean, it kind of looks, well, you can kind of see right here where this one's coming from. It's right here. It's kind of bleeding through. I guess it's not that hard to figure out, but they're always so buttoned up. Oh man, someone has Grafana running, and that looks like similar to the Grafana dashboard that for Proxmox, or really any Grafana dashboard that's really done up. Oh man, this is so awesome. Come on, Chrome. Yes. What's going on here? No way. Wait, what? What's going on? Is that a redirect? No? Okay, here we go. Yeah. All right, I'll go full screen on here. Yeah, thank you. I did not know this exists. This is totally awesome. Totally awesome because, every now and then you'll see one of these, tagged on HomeLab and, has so many upvotes. But this is like every one of these would get upvoted. Oh, these are all Google servers. Yeah. Skull, that Microtech 24 plus 2 FP, such a good value. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it does look awesome. Does look awesome. Totally good value. It's like what, 140 bucks or something like that? 140 bucks, and then you get 2 SFP ports and the rest gigabit. If I didn't have a gigabit switch, totally would do it. Totally would do it. Because worst case scenario, I would just uplink another switch and have 10 gig between the two, or, run 10 gig from my PC to that server. Yeah, some of these are so awesome. What? Get out of here. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, this looks sweet. This is kind of why I want a door too, because you can contain all the light and just make it look awesome. How awesome does that look? Okay, that kind of looks like server stuff. This looks pretty okay. This looks like an audio rack. Well, I think it does have audio equipment in, but I just mean the size. Yeah. Oh, I was like, oh, what a nice door and window, but this is made of wood. So, yeah, so awesome. Pretty cool, yeah. So this is relatively new. It's got to be relatively new. I mean, there's only 1.6K members, so yeah, relatively new. But looks awesome. Totally joining that. Thank you for sharing that. Man, the HomeLab's got some competition now. What are we going here? Yeah, 140 and 24. Yeah, 1 gig. Yeah, Skull. Yeah, I totally agree. That's such a good deal. Such a good deal. Even if you don't need the SFP, but it's kind of a plus. Yeah, this one right here looks great. That is just crazy. Now I'm looking at my rack and thinking I'm nowhere near done. Yeah, I totally agree. This one, the colors and the simplicity and the symmetry on this one is awesome. Looks awesome. The door is open. You can see the door is open. And oh yeah, we can drill in on here. Okay. Don't know what that's all about. So they have some Unify gear and a power injector. So I'm assuming that goes up to the Unify access point. And then cloud switch. Yeah, MikroTik. There's a switch. Everyone's buying. Cat 6 patch panel, at least it says on there. This looks like another power injector or something. Yeah, I love the colors. I love it. So they must have two like RGB strips. You know, one going up here pointing in, and then, oh no, it's right here. You can kind of see it. So it's pointing at us, I guess. But yeah, totally. I got to figure something out. I want mine to look a little cooler. Maybe next time I show it off. I thought about it for this last video, but I was just like, I had too many other things to worry about. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing this new subreddit. I love new subreddits, especially when they're like ones filled with pictures like this. Sweet pictures. Navy Cop, mine is just bare bones rack, no doors or walls, so lighting it up would be pretty difficult. We'll light up the closet room instead. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's what mine is kind of like too. You know, it's 4-post, open, and just steel beams. It's just a frame on caster wheels, but it's super solid. So I'm in the same boat as you, but I think what I was saying is like, I'm gonna cut some panels and just attach them to the side. One, to just kind of keep the noise from going out everywhere and keep the heat from going out everywhere and just have a nice airflow. And then two, so I can put some lights on it and then it would light stuff up without bleeding a light everywhere and just have all that light contained. Be awesome. Now I'll probably put a motion sensor on it too, so that like, you know, it only lights up when there's motion around it, because I don't need it lighting up my basement like when I'm not there, which is like 99% of the day. But yeah, I'm yeah, my wheels are turning already. Definitely would wire up some. I mean, it'd be smart for sure, but I'd probably wire up motion sensor to it, or at least a button. But the buttons, you know, then it's like I gotta walk up to it and press a button, which sounds pretty lazy, but I want it to turn on every time I go down the stairs to my basement. Just be like, yeah, because there are times when I don't know, I love blinking lights in general, like on servers. So yeah, I just love, sometimes I'll turn the lights off in the basement and just like look at all the blinking lights, because I'm just like so amazed it runs. Bright side is now you can do a video for the rack upgrade project. Yeah, totally. Yeah, thank you for that idea. Yeah, after I did my last one, I'm like, why didn't I just turn on some other lights? Like I get like an arsenal of lights in here. I mean, like I have lights in here that shine every different color and have every different brightness, you know, within this room that are 100% portable. And I was like, you know, they're all back there and everywhere, all over the room. And I was just like, why didn't I take some lights downstairs? Made it look a little more awesome than just like some scary looking basement. But yeah, for sure. Yeah, totally. I need to find some kind of paneling though. I don't know. I want to find sweet paneling though. I either want it like super industrial or just like totally off the wall. Like either, you know, paneling on the side and the top. I want to put, you know, 3 panels, and either, like I said, I want it super industrial, which is minimal, or I just want it like off the wall, like graffiti art stuff, or just a simple pattern like, I don't know, birch or something, which seems kind of weird. Like, why would you put a birch pattern on your server rack? And I don't know, because it's a, I don't know, good clash or a juxtaposition of this very industrial server and just this like natural kind of wood look. Who knows? But yeah, so many ideas. But this looks awesome. I wonder how big this is too. Like server size is always misleading, you know, but then when you start looking at it, like, you know, this is 1U, this is 1U, so you got 2, or I got another and 3, you know, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you know, I don't know. This is probably a lot bigger than you think, and the photo is just shot from far away. But yeah, I do like this though, how you have, it's like your rack and then your cabinet and your panels, because then your rack can go on the inside. You can rack everything in the inside and you have still some space, like how they've kind of tucked in their PoE injector right here, which is nice. And I bet they specifically did that so they can look down at these ports to see if the LEDs are on, you know, because like, hey, is my access point on? Is it getting power? Is it, you know, is it blinking? All the things you check when the internet goes down or wireless goes down. Yeah, it looks sweet. Yeah. So Takano, what do you have to do? Totally rip your whole rack apart and basically move the rails further back? That seems like a chore. I know putting mine together alone was a chore. It's like, oh my goodness. I was like, yep, have this wrapped up in about a half hour. No, 3 hours later, I was still doing it. I had to take it apart once because I built it. I still put it together too long. It's totally adjustable, but when they say adjustable, they just mean like you can adjust it the first time. After that, you're never going to touch it again because you'd have to take the whole server apart. So I wish I would have made mine a little more shallow. Maybe if I ever move, when I take it apart, I think I'm going to put, I don't know, little markers so I know exactly how long the server should be. And then if I ever got rid of my Dell R710, my whole rack could be like depth-wise half, because the Dell R710 is long. It's a sled. It's for sure a sled. Navy Cup. Right now, my noise is minimal as I have built all of the PC servers myself. Nice. I have a Dell R710, which I know would up the noise, but it's too deep for the closet that I have my rack sitting in, so I'm not using it. Yeah. Which is exactly like the depth of that thing. Like I was just saying, it's a sled, limited me so much on the racks I could buy. Because like once you get a server that big, like they won't fit in like audio racks and stuff like that. And there were so many people selling them on like Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and I was like, that looks awesome, that looks awesome, you know, how much do you want for it? And you know, how deep is it? And it was, you know, 20 inches or something. And I'm like, oh, no way. That's like not even half of how deep, you know, the Dell R710 is. So it's another reason why I'm just kind of like, oh man. Because even like the disk array I have, you know, it's tall, but it's only about half as deep as the R710. So Takano, definitely going to be a chore. Read my previous message regarding my sort of janky plan. Oh, that was the Home Depot one, right? Oh yeah. Oh, how did I miss this one? Oh, because I totally got sidetracked from HomeLab Master Race. So Takano, I might get 2 pairs of 11U rack rails, remove the current rails, place one pair at the bottom front, and the other one on the top back, if that makes sense. Because if not, then when removing and adding equipment, it will hit the original rails. But I also need ones in the original location, or my server won't fit. Yeah. Yeah. It seems like quite the operation there. But totally be worth it. When you close the doors for the first time, you'll just be like, worth it. Totally worth it. Home data center. Oh yeah, I totally got to check that out, Thasian. Home data center too? Oh my gosh, I don't even want to look. Home data center. I don't even want to look. Because it's totally going to be like, oh man, now what can I do? This one seems like, because I know there's data hoarder too. Home data center or data center. Oh, I need pictures though. I need pictures, I'm just saying. Yeah, network racks, these. This is an air conditioner down here? Oh, tape drive. I thought that was an air conditioner or something. It looks like a old tape something. I don't know. I'm saying tape drive because it's all faded and yellow. Those guys take it to another level. Yeah, they totally do. Like people doing this stuff are like they're in it to win it. Jeez. Yeah, I mean this is, you know, is this someone's house? or is this like a business? Because if it was someone's house, I'd be totally impressed. If it was someone's business, I'd just be like, yeah, I've seen much bigger. And that's not like a diss on this, but like even the small hospital I worked at, their data center was like, it was crazy. And then I've been in like co-location data centers too. Yeah, because these just look like data center shots, you know. If you've ever been in one, super awesome. I love going in data centers mainly because it's like nice and cool in there, and you got tons of fans. It's like air's coming from everywhere. You're like, oh yes, so nice. Yeah, this is awesome though. Like, yeah, like, is this someone's business or is this someone's home? Home? Yeah, I would think it was awesome. Business, I think like still awesome, but the networking racks. Oh yeah, man. I wish. Man, running cable though. That's I don't know. I'm not the greatest at wire management and cable management in general. What is even this? Can we take a peek at what this is? 10 base T hub. This is some old stuff. 10 base T. Oh, this is 10 base T also. But I was looking at this thing. Like, what is this all about? I don't even know what to make of this thing right here with knobs. Like all these knobs, I just want to turn them. And then I wonder if this is like that old BNC connector stuff, the cable stuff before. What is... Looks older, but still looks awesome. Like this totally, oh yeah, 56 KBS technology, courier, everything. I mean, you can tell this is old one without even looking at any of the markings on here. Like it can tell this is old because it's black and has just this red, you know, LED, like every single alarm clock that ever exists in 19, you know, was it 80, mid 80s, late 80s maybe? I don't know. Because I feel like things, you know, flip-flop between this black and wood grain for a while, but I mean, outside of this being, it looks like a modem, it looks awesome. Like the design on it is sweet. It just looks so retro, but it's not really retro because it is of that era. So I don't know, it looks awesome. I'm totally not knocking on any of this stuff because I love looking at older stuff. And I guarantee these switches are built so solid, metal all the way through. They'll probably live for 1,000 years, never burn up. Sorry, I'm like going off the deep end on here. Those guys taking it, I love it. Yeah, for sure. Worked security years ago, and one of our clients had their data center set up in a glass room just off the waiting room. All gold and silver and ridiculous cable management. Nice. Nice. That sounds awesome. Like similar to like when you walk in breweries, how they're just like, you know, this is where all the beer is brewed in a big glass window, and you see all these, I don't know, I don't brew beer, but wherever those big vats are, and it's like all copper and stainless steel, and it just looks sweet. And then, you know, you just walk by it, it's like a little showroom for their brewery. I'll do that with my servers, even though I have nothing to show off and no one to come look at them either, so it would just be me. Yeah. Navy cop, hey, watch the mid-80s cracks. I graduated high school in the mid-80s. Oh no, not I'm not dissing mid-80s at all. I was just saying that this, I can tell that this design, it has totally like mid-80s written all over it, because just this black and this red LED, like every alarm clock ever, you know, was like this. And then it would have wood paneling on the side, fake wood paneling. Yeah, nothing against 80, because I love, I don't know, I love the retro stuff from, yeah, 80s and 90s. Love it. I mean, that's when I grew up too, so. Funny, earlier I had 1980s Mercedes-Benz sales training video on YouTube. Oh yeah, I bet that was interesting. Yeah, it's I don't know, I love totally an aside, but yeah, 80s movies, just like you're talking about, you know, this training video, just 80s movies in production in general are so funny. And I feel like, yeah, there's just so many ways you can go with that. Like how funny they were, how wrong they were, how ridiculous they were. And yeah, just even the ratings too. It was just like, what? This is PG? Like this feels like way more than PG. You know, it's like, you know, how many, yeah, how much could they get away with and still get a non-R rating? I feel like most 80s movies were, so they could get those ticket sales from kids. But I love watching them. Navy Cop, just giving you a hard time. My first machine was a TI 994A with a tape drive for storage. That's awesome. That's awesome. I have no idea. I don't know what that is. I mean, I'm sure it's a bigger machine that had a tape drive for storage, but I don't know that model. But it sounds awesome. My first PC was a HP PC, AMD. K62 processor, 500 megahertz. That was my first PC. Actually, if you count a Commodore 64, that was my first computing thing. But I got that like when I was a lot older. My dad found it at a garage sale and we didn't have a computer. So it was like, my dad brought it home, but it was the awesomest thing ever. I mean, it's half the reason why I'm so interested now into computers. Because we have this Commodore 64. Meanwhile, people had, you know, Macs or whatever. We had a Commodore 64. It was so great. But it was, you know, it's the first thing I had, I guess, in the house, with a keyboard to type on, I guess. Besides like a speak and spell and a speak and math, but that didn't really count. But yeah, I don't know. This stuff is awesome. I love to look at like older stuff too. I don't know why. Just like whenever we go to like antique stores, not that we have any time recently, to me it's like a museum, just looking at, I don't know, looking at everything. People are probably like, why isn't this guy buying anything? He's just picking up everything and looking at it. I don't know. I love it. I treat those stores like a museum for sure. But yeah, this is awesome. I'm sure there's tons of stuff in here. I'm totally not digging on any of this stuff in here, because these people are probably pretty dedicated and they're probably really awesome at what they do. Oh yeah. I'm always scared where like, oh, I guess it's Reddit's preview. Yeah, look at some of the stuff. Oh yeah, here's PowerEdge 720. So here's a 720. So did you get a 720 like this? Or did you get the one with the bigger drives? Because these look awesome too, and you can fit, what, 1, 2, 3, 16 drives in here? Yeah, that's awesome. But that's, I think, the storinator, or whatever they call it. It's not called the storinator. Just giving you a hard time. Oh, no. So a small console machine looked like a typewriter, okay, with a cartridge that had basic, okay. Heard of that, games, etc. And a tape drive was for basic tape recorder, and it would save data by audio. That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know that. You had to tiptoe out of the room so you didn't make any noise, which the tape recorder would hear and overwrite your saves. That sounds terrible. I mean, it sounds awesome at the time. It's like they did the best they could do with what they have, and I'm always a fan of that, like people getting scrappy. And that's like way beyond scrappy, you know, building that tech during that time. But that's awesome. Tiptoe out of the room so it didn't make any noise. Yeah, that's crazy to think about. Yeah, man, so many awesome things. People do awesome stuff, especially with servers, because I feel like servers, when people do servers at home, it's like they're really into it. They really, I don't know, they really care and think about everything they do. Yeah, some of these are, yeah, sometimes I wish I had a smaller rack, but this one doesn't look smaller. This one looks pretty tall, actually. You can almost count the U on the side. I mean, you're up to 17 here. I think mine's only 18U. Oh, 24, yeah. So this is 24. I almost got a 24, but they didn't have one at the time. So mine would cut off right here. But I noticed people put spacers in theirs. People put spacers or gaps in general. And I don't know if that's just because they're trying to even out all of their gear, or if they really have a need for evening it out, or maybe heat dissipation. I'm not sure. But mine's all flush. And I'm gonna keep mine flush until I can't anymore. Yeah. Homelab new, put the deal in general. Oh yeah, for sure. Your call, of course. I don't know what link are we talking about? Scared to look. Let me see here. Cooling equipment. I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh gosh. What? Sir, cooling equipment. Check out the price. Where's the price? $20. Cooling equipment. I don't. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's $20. So I can install it in my basement and cool myself off. That thing is a single UPS? No way. Used lot server, cooling equipment, HVAC units. This thing is one big UPS? I mean, I see APC on it. Yeah, that's insane. That is insane. That is like... $20, yeah, it's, you have to, well, 4 days left. But on top of that, like, you have to probably pick it up, I assume, or pay for shipping. I've never been to this place, Gov Deals. Is it really from the government, or is it just someone calling them Gov Deals? View country. Okay, so yeah, it looks awesome. Oh my gosh. This is like, this would be, man, Excel Energy would be calling me up. They would shut me down. Think they run auctions? Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. I wonder how much runtime you get on this. There isn't a lot of, surprisingly, there's very little detail. I mean, I guess this, you're getting a lot of equipment and LOT. So you're getting all of this stuff, but the UPS, this huge thing, they're just like APC UPS, or maybe this is it. APC 20 kVA UPS. A battery tray that goes with the APC assume UPS. That's crazy. I know. They probably just want it out. They're probably just like free if you come pick it up, but we're gonna place it on this auction site so that we have some free advertisement, because no one's gonna search for this on Craigslist. Yeah, that's awesome. That's crazy. I mean, I could hook this up to my whole entire house, I think. I don't know how long I'd get off of it though, but yeah, it looks awesome. Totally crazy. Dual E, okay. Yeah, this looks good. Whoa. That's some crazy looking coolers. Unless it's just the color. I don't remember Cooler Master ever having these crazy, like this emblem on it. Yeah, it looks awesome. Yeah, I like this. I like the color, and then I just like the simplicity of this. So this is shining from the inside or from the back. This has to be inside. Oh yeah, which I could totally do. I could totally make mine shine like that, because this is very similar to my drive. Hey, Techno, resub, thank you so much. 2 months, thank you. Welcome for the last 2 months, but welcome back. You didn't realize Twitch Prime didn't renew automatically. Whoops. Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, it totally doesn't. It stinks. But I know why they do. I know why they don't auto renew. But yeah, Twitch Prime, they don't auto renew. You got to come back every month. But yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it for your continued support. Thank you. Yeah, I'm totally getting ideas off here because my Dell server has very similar, you know, has this grate with hard drives in front of it, but I actually have hard drives in it. And it looks like these are empty. Wait, are they? I don't know. I can't tell from looking at this. I mean, to me, it looks like there aren't any hard drives in there. So it's like just for show then. I do like this. I almost had one of these. I mean, I actually bought one of these, a similar one, and then I never ended up using a 1U, like big PDU, to split off all the power. But I ended up not using it, and I just sent it back. Because I was like, I didn't want to spend 1U on this, but then again, like I was going to put it on the back, so my UPS doesn't go the full length of my whole entire rack. And so I was going to mount like a PDU or a UPS or a, I don't know, surge protector on the back and plug things into it. But I just couldn't get it to, I don't know, couldn't run the cords the way I wanted them to. So I bailed on it. Next time I add stuff, I'll figure out better cable management. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, this is totally what I'm going to end up doing too. Oh yeah, Cat5e. Server down there. Think server. I don't think I've seen one of these by Lenovo. It's awesome though. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep track of this server. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. I just want mine kind of like, I don't know. I want some of at least my panels to, I don't know, be a little more. I don't know, have a little more character. This has tons of character. It's kind of hard to see what's going on, but tons of character here. Even with the braided cables right here. Yeah, it's sweet. Lots of character too. It's just built out of 2x4s, which is awesome. Super awesome that someone figured all this out. It's like they just bought these rails and then built a cabinet themselves. That's sweet. It's way more than I would know what to do with. That is sweet. Yeah, so they have 710s. Here you go. So I RGB'd one of my Dell R710s. That's what I have. Okay, so they got RGBs inside. It's kind of hard to see where they're at. I mean, it kind of looks like some stuff going in there. And there. I'm so confused on where they actually are though. Does he explain? Because this is exactly what I have going on. RGB controller for changing color when transcoding rendering. It's just memory failure. Yeah. What? Wait, come on. Where's so they didn't tell what they did or how to do it. Oh, is this it? Yeah, it is. The album with pictures. Okay. Oh, okay. It involves cutting. I do have a Dremel. Might get to use a Dremel for like the 3rd time ever. Oh, that's a lot though. That's a lot. Oh, I can't do it. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this. It's just, it hurts looking at it. So I'm still kind of confused. Oh, because they put a glass panel on top. Okay. Okay, so if I didn't want the glass panel, where did the RGB go? Okay. Arduino. Okay. Gotcha. And that's in each drive bay? That's a lot. It seems like a lot. I was just thinking like, what are the cheap LED strips that you can get? Oh, this person went all out and even made a glass see-through for their R710. I guess if you're gonna use it as like a tabletop and not rack mounted, that's interesting. And I guess like, I don't know why I'm so scared about cutting it. I could probably find the whole entire lid for it again, like on eBay for like 10 bucks. It's not like it's, expensive. Yeah, like this piece, I could probably find one for, I don't know, 10, 15 bucks, I bet, somewhere. Maybe more, but man, This person went all out. I was like, what can I buy to just throw in there? And, you know, meanwhile, they're like totally, you know, using their Dremel, cutting it apart. That's awesome. Yeah, this is looking awesome. Yeah, one day. Everyone has these old Google servers. I assume they were like easy to get your hands on, but I see them all the time in photos. I never like looked to get one. They were super interesting though to look at. Yeah. This is great. AT&T just sent me a message that they're upgrading my system and my OnePlus 6 phone won't be compatible, forcing an upgrade. Seriously? Like what wouldn't be compatible with your OnePlus? Like the data plan? Cause that seems like I don't know, that seems weird. Like how can you deprecate a whole entire phone or tech? Unless it's like some band that they don't support anymore. Yeah, that sounds weird. Like unless it's some radio band that they don't support anymore, but usually that's like, you know, they just degrade it and they're like, oh, you're only gonna get whatever, 2G now, 4G, something like that. But just saying like, oh, we no longer support your phone, which seem kind of crazy. Yeah. That stinks for sure. Yeah, good question. So have I ever upgraded my firmware on my Dell servers? I have actually. I've upgraded it like 3 or 4 times. So I upgraded it when I first got it. Most of it came upgraded. I think there was a couple of firmware revisions on something. Might have been the iDRAC I had to do. But there's also like the Dell updater and stuff, but I just went to Dell.com and grabbed the latest. And then surprisingly, Dell released like 2 firmware versions since I got it, even though the server's so old, because Spectre and the Meltdown exploits. And so, you know, Intel, whatever, released some stuff, some microcode, and then Dell released firmware to patch the, you know, it's a software fix for a hardware problem, which sucks. And then whatever, like, yeah, definitely a vulnerability, but it stinks because like, you know, the impact was you lose performance. So anyways, I have done it. I've had 0 problems. I flashed mine back and forth because I was doing some performance testing with Spectre and Meltdown because I had a lot more running on there than I do now. And I noticed like there was a huge performance hit after the firmware update for Spectre and Meltdown. And then, but then OS fixes came out that could check to see if you had it was like totally belts and suspenders, right? Like first, like there was this vulnerability, then firmware people updated it, but then OS is running on there couldn't really tell if it had been applied yet. So they were like putting in mitigations too on top of software for the firmware that may or may not had it. And then now it's to a point where, you know, like Windows and Linux can all check to see if the patch was applied to the CPU or to the firmware. And so then like Windows then rolled back or made some performance improvements to basically check to see if the firmware was doing what it should be doing. And so long story short, I've had 0 problems. And I've gone back and forth, because like I said, I was doing some performance testing, or not a lot of testing, more of, well, it was a lot of testing, but nothing real quantitative. It was more, you know, just, hey, how does it run now? Feels slower, feels faster. But anyways, I finally went back to the latest, you know, firmware release that they've released, and it's totally fine. Like I've done it on my Dell R710. I totally would. I'm like I don't know, for some reason I'm like a firmware junkie. I'm just like, you know, if there are firmware updates, I'm all over it, even for my motherboard, for anything, because it's like such a low level patch that I'm just like, yes. hopefully it's better, you know, where it's like software gets released, whatever, daily, weekly, monthly, hourly. Firmware is once in a while. So when those come out, seems like it's usually pretty critical. So I usually try to do those right away. But yeah, I don't think you would have any problems. I didn't, but then again, like, I don't know if I ever, so if I were you and I had a newer Dell server to me and it was many versions behind, I would probably just go to the latest version. As long as I knew I had the latest version of everything, because when Dell released like their software packs or whatever, like there's firmware for everything, for like the RAID adapter, for the network card, for the iDRAC, for the BIOS. And so you want to do those all at kind of like the same time. And like if it's totally new to you, they even have like software packs that'll do all that for you, but you kind of have an OS on it first. They might have a disk that's like, I know this sounds crazy, but you could, make a disk with a pen drive, USB key, and like they'll have some kind of update checker. Basically you pop it in, boot it up, and it'll do everything for you. But I wouldn't worry about it. I don't know, but if it breaks, it's not my fault. But if you are worried about it, I mean, maybe go incrementally, a couple at a time, one at a time. But I go all out because, yeah. But then again, on something like that, if you don't have warranty on it, who knows? It shouldn't be that bad. I think it's fine. I don't know. I'm a fan of firmware updates in general, but I'm never that scared to do it. But apparently people wear out the flash memory that stores the firmware. Oh, I got you. I see what you mean. Yeah, but it's probably been written, maybe 5 times ever, if that? You know what I mean? How many BIOS updates have they had? But I see what you mean now, because there are limited rights. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I didn't think of that. I never think about that. I don't know. I had this one router that I probably flashed 20, 30 times. Even one of my current ones, just because of updates and because of testing other firmwares and DDWRT, tomato, like going all crazy, trying to get things to work. But yeah. Yep. Yeah, I go for it. Totally go for it. Awesome. Well, man, I think I'm gonna call it a night. I gotta get some stuff wrapped up. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. Thanks for sharing this awesome subreddit. Thanks for asking some questions. Thursday, I might switch it up a little bit. We'll see. Got to figure a couple things out. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Techno, thanks for resubbing again. Craven, hey, haven't seen that name in a while. Hope you're doing well. Dacian, adios. Yeah, but yeah, thanks for hanging out. Techno, thanks again for the resub. Thanks for chatting it up. Thanks for showing me some awesome stuff. I have some more notes, some things to look into. But yeah, have a good night, and see you guys Thursday. Take care.